Diallo. Good morning, everyone. My name is Obar Cham, I'm trying to introduce, and I am so much delighted to read the Election Watch Committee's pre-election statement, much specifically a campaign update. For the Mayor and Chairperson campaign observation, the Elections Watch Committee has trained and deployed 14 long-term observers, that is, observers in each administrative region to observe the conduct of the campaign process within the Gambia. This update contains observation findings from this campaign beginning from the 5th May to 18th May 2023 and covers the conduct of campaigns by political parties and independent candidates within the different administrative areas during this period. This update also contains information as reported by observers on the Independent Electoral Commission preparedness, the conduct of civic education and voter information campaigns for the elections, as well as recommendations for the election day. Finally, this update also provides information about the EWC's plan to observe the May 20 election. Campaign observation summary. Overall, the Elections Watch Committee observers' reports during the campaign period indicated that political parties and independent candidates ramped up their campaigns and campaigned with no major restrictions in all constituencies across the country. Observers witnessed and heard reports of instances of abuse of state resources, such as use of vehicles and vote buying by candidates and political parties. The campaign period was peaceful in the vast majority of the country. Observers noted national security personnel presence in some of their areas and should be commended for their role in maintaining peace during this period. Elections Watch Committee observers also reported the visibility of civic and voter education efforts by the IEC, NCCE, CSOs, and others ahead of the May 20 polls. Campaign observation methodology. The Elections Watch Committee deployed 14 campaign observers, that is 2 observers for each region, to monitor the conduct of local government mayor and chairperson campaign exercise in their respective regions. All Elections Watch Committee observers were carefully selected and thoroughly trained, as well as accredited by the Independent Electoral Commission, the IEC. All Elections Watch Committee observers were instructed to observe campaign activities and rallies of political parties and independent candidates in their respective areas, covering the 7 regions within the Gambia. Observers were trained to observe campaign activities throughout the entire campaign period and send in reports on 2 days during the observation period, that is, 11th May and 17th May 2023, as well as critical incidents whenever they occurred. For each reporting period, every observer sent in their observation report using a comprehensive checklist via coded text messages using the mobile phones to the Elections Watch Committee National Information Center, that is the EWC-NIC. The EWC also trained 2 data entry clerks that were stationed at the EWC National Information Center in Kanifing to collect checklist reports from observers on the reporting days, as well as critical incidents from all observers throughout the campaign period. Campaign observation findings. The Elections Watch Committee's local government, mayor, and chairperson campaign update provides comprehensive information and reports from the Elections Watch Committee observers deployed across the country during the campaign period from 5th May to 18th May 2023. This update also includes findings from the conduct of civic and voter education on the elections, as well as the IEC's preparedness. Political party campaigns. During the campaign period, political parties were out in force holding campaign activities across the country. EWC's observers in all regions reported either witnessing or hearing of campaign events or rallies in their assigned regions. Observers' reports mostly showed that the parties and candidates are freely conducting their campaign with no restrictions. However, EWC observers reported witnessing or hearing of incidents of campaign ethics violations, including the use of state resources such as government vehicles or distribution of cash or items by government officials during the campaign, candidates providing money or gift to supporters, or buying of voters' cards. These violations create an unlevel playing field during the election campaign and dilute the premise that political campaigns should be contested based on a candidate's skills, ideas, and ability to lead the wards, and not based on their ability to purchase the most votes. IEC preparations and civic education or voter information. As the campaign period advanced towards election day, all EWC observers witnessed or heard about IEC's preparation in their regions. EWC observers have previously reported that they have not witnessed or heard of IEC's preparations. However, it is to be noted that during the 2023 councillor and mayoral campaign, there has been an improvement in this matter. This level of communication, information sharing by the IEC is consistent with the past elections and should be commended. Additionally, throughout the campaign period, the EWC noted that the civic and voter education campaign targeting women, youth, and persons with disabilities are present in some parts of the country. However, it is to be noted that there has been a significant decline in the number of engagements with interest groups such as women, youths, PWDs compared to the campaign efforts and strategies during the presidential and parliamentary elections. Presence of security forces. The majority of election watch observers have noted that they have witnessed national security forces during campaign events and rallies of political candidates. EWC did not receive reports of any case of intimidation or abuse by security agents during the campaign period. Electoral violence. EWC's election day observation and deployment strategy. The Elections Watch Committee, EWC, plans to deploy 128 election day observers for the 20th May local government, mayoral, and chairperson elections across the 7 administrative regions of the country. The EWC has observed the candidate nomination process and the campaign and will monitor the collation process, the collation process rather. The EWC's observation of all of these processes will factor into the overall assessment of the May 2023 mayor and chairperson's elections. On May 20, the EWC plans to deploy 128 trained and accredited election day observers for the local government mayor and chairperson elections. This includes 104 stationary polling stream observers, 10 mobile observers, and 14 regional coordinators. The 104 polling stream observers have been systematically deployed based on a proportional distribution by constituency. This means that the proportion of Elections Watch Committee stationary observers closely matches the overall proportion of the IEC polling streams in each constituency and administrative area. For example, 34% of polling streams where Elections Watch Committee observers are deployed are in Brikama, and 34% of overall polling streams are in Brikama. This proportional deployment enables the EWC to comment on the process nationally, drawing on data points from every constituency across the country. Additionally, the EWC will deploy its 4 regional coordinators to observe the collation process at the IEC's 8 regional collation centers. The EWC will release updates based on observation findings. This would include a midday election day update containing findings from the opening and setup of polling stations, and a preliminary update one day, after which will include findings from the voting, closing, and counting processes. The EWC is proud to be among and coordinating with domestic groups accredited by the IEC to observe this process. The interest in observing this electoral process further highlights the interest in the Gambia's democratic process and the importance of local government elections for the people of the Gambia. Recommendations. The Elections Watch Committee is following recommendations to election stakeholders ahead of and during the immediate period of the election. Political parties, candidates, and their supporters should adhere to the IEC's mandated cooling-off period and refrain from all campaign activities on Friday, 19th May. The media and any other group should avoid publicizing unofficial results, and candidates should refrain from declaring victory until the IEC releases the final results. In addition to announcing the final results at the ward level, the IEC should make public a disaggregated list of polling station level results in an analyzable format and in a timely manner. Political parties, candidates, and their supporters should continue to adhere to the IEC regulations and code of conduct during and after the May 2023 local government mayoral and chairperson elections, and follow the prescribed legal channels to pursue any objections or grievances in a peaceful manner. Political parties, candidates to engage women, youth, and PWDs in their campaign planning activities. The Elections Watch Committee reminds the voters to bring their voters' cards and cast their vote on May 20 at the polling station where they previously voted during the 2022 National Assembly elections and presidential elections. We thank you very much for your kind attention, for your attendance, and for taking part in the elections. Thank you.
We got yesterday, and at the time that we were receiving the information, campaign was virtually over. That was when we started preparing this document, so it's not captured here. So subsequently, when we are giving out other reports, especially after the elections period, some of those things will be captured in, because already we observed and we have already seen a report that also confirmed to us that this is something that happened from the Gambia Armed Forces. So it's obvious that whether the investigation is completed or not, our subsequent reports will actually capture some of those things. So what I want Honorable Umar Cham to do is for him to read the part of the report that you have at hand right now that also talks about the usage of government resources and also inducement, that is, candidates and also political parties giving out monies to voters. Please.
Thank you so much. So I think it is very unequivocal. Witness and heard reports of instances of abuse of state resources, such as use of vehicles and vote buying by candidates and political parties. So it means when we talk about state resources here, we're talking about one entity, that is the NPP. But when we say by candidates and political parties, it means it's across the board. I hope that is clear.
Thank you very much.
Including the independents.
Yes.
Yeah, they are candidates.
Candidates. They are